Hey there everybody, welcome back to Metroid Prime. This is Spiraling Helix. Last time we made our way through the research facility over in the Fendrana Drifts, or we made our way back through it after the power went out, and we defeated a giant stone titan, receiving the Spider Ball. This time we are going to head through to the Chozo Ruins, as that is the best place to use our Spider Ball technology now, judging by all the things we've seen. So first of all, I need to get through the Magmore Caverns so I can actually get there. So while I'm going through the Magmore Caverns, I might speed up the footage, but we have flying pirates here now. I don't care about you though. So I just recommend you guys listen to the music. Speed up the footage a little bit, and I'll keep the music playing even in that short area near the beginning where it stops. Okay, fast forward! Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that soundtrack. That's probably my favorite in this whole game. It is based off some of the soundtrack in Super Metroid, I believe. Maybe even part of the original game. But now that we are back here, I think it's finally time we explored this corridor, hallway, and these three rooms over this way that I've neglected for quite a bit of time. And I didn't need to get out of the morph ball there. But heading through here might have helped to actually come through here earlier before I burned alive, as we have a shiny wall. Don't know how that helps from us burning alive, but there is an energy tank over in a couple of rooms. But this is about how a fountain might one day dry up, and how, even though they can predict the future, it won't really be all that helpful for them. Anyway though, we have a gate here with some locking mechanisms. These are just bomb slots, even though they might not look like it. So you have to activate all three. The first two are covered by some shielding that prevents you from going in. And now would be a good time to actually mention that you cannot plant more than 3 bombs at a time, as you can see in the top right. The reason why I bring that up now is because in the GameCube version, you do of course need to do a double bomb jump to reach that top one. Except if you do a double bomb jump, you can't plant another bomb further up. That's why there's only that grating in front of the bottom two and not that third one at the top. But for our efforts there, we get a missile tank, and then after heading through this room, we will head through this one-way door, by the way, and grab this energy tank. I make that very important, because if I go any further, that door will close and then I'm stuck. That is one reason why I chose to hold off on getting anything there. But can I kill you? Maybe I can show you. This guy dies in one hit, if I can at least hit him. There. Dies in one hit, every time. But now with our boost ball, we can go up here and grab this missile tank. It's a bit awkward because you do bonk your head on the tree root. How did I manage to miss that? But as you can see, we also have a plated beetle coming to give us a bit of a hug. He's just a friendly guy. So the plated beetle will now spawn in this area, so he wasn't missable before. Except this time we have like our charge beam and super missiles and stuff. Another thing worth mentioning, if I have a look at this bit stands out, doesn't say anything about it, but you might hear a humming. That is actually able to be destroyed by our super missiles, and as you can see there is a missile expansion in there, so I'll just go over and get that. it is a bit out of our reach if we try double jumping, so we'll need to head up to a higher ledge. So I recommend you head up this way. And then just jump down and into it. Pretty easy to jump in though, thankfully. There we go. And if we head back into the room where we fought off all those beetles, there will be a few things we can explore in that room now that we have better abilities. And how did I get my health? Oh, the energy tank, right. I was thinking I might actually have to... Oh, and the plated beetle spawns here. I never knew that. It's because after a certain point, certain enemies will spawn here that we haven't come across yet. But I never knew the plated beetle will keep spawning there. By the way, sandstone block there we saw earlier. You can use, like, blow that open to get some missiles. If I go up this, you know, if I time that a lot better and wait till I'm over the edge, you want to hold over the edge with your joystick so you make sure you're actually over. Through this tunnel we have yet another missile expansion. These things are all over the place, so getting quite a bit of the cleanup done now. And then we can head down and back up through here and grab onto this spiderball track that we couldn't access before, which will bring us over here to this purple door, which we also couldn't access before. Neither could we access that ramp. And for once we have one of these hallways without scarabs. Yeah, I know. But heading in this room, we have some water and a passageway through there. However, the water is very bad for us and we won't be able to do much in here. However, if we look up in this tower, the Tower of Light, first of all, there is an artifact related to this room. And I'm sure you guys can guess where that artifact might be hidden. But it is hinted at in the totems, although I don't think we could have scanned that. Anyway, these pillars are weak and made of brimstone. 4 missiles, I believe. No, 3 missiles will take them out. Or, you know, just speed it up a bit and use 1 super missile. Of course, it does leave you from using any weapons for a bit of time after. Yeah, forget it, just 3 missiles for this one too. Destroying all 4 of them will drop down the tower just a little bit. Enough for us to be able to reach a new ledge, which will let us get higher up. And we have a new creature right here. This is the plated puffer. And I love how it uses the same icons as the normal puffer. It's just harder to kill, as you can see, it reflects shots, but there are multiples of them that come out and they do blow up when they hit each other, I think. Right? I actually normally jump up and they just somehow spontaneously explode. Missiles blow them up though. I better wait for that gas to disappear. There we go. And oh, they do keep spawning. That is very good, because I believe this is one of the only rooms in the whole game where you can find plated puffers. That was a waste of 5 missiles. There we go though. And I guess you could say this, you can kill the Oculus. We have come across them before, but I don't really put this under as defeating an Oculus. It's because we're just destroying the terrain underneath it. There are other Oculuses in the game, obviously, because we've scanned them elsewhere. But you can kill, you can't kill, but they are there still. This time we have 4 pillars with all 4 Oculuses on each one. All you have to do is, like, avoid the Oculus when shooting. Do not lock onto them though, because as you can guess, that will make your missiles home in. But with that, we have made our way to the top of the Tower of Light, where we will find, up on this ledge, the Wave Buster, which looks very much like the Super Missile upgrade. In fact, it pretty much is. So it works almost the same as the Super Missile, except it's for the Wave Beam. Now each of the different beams we'll be getting, as you can see there are probably 2 more, will have an upgrade like this. Still think the Super Missile is the best out of all of them, in my opinion. But they work a bit differently. Instead of being a burst where it usually uses up 5 missiles, and oh, it actually goes red now when we charge our wave beam. When you use it, it actually won't get used because I'm not locked onto any enemy. Thank you for spawning here though. When we use it... wait, what? Oh, maybe this one uses more like 10 missiles at least, which is why it's red. It actually won't let me use it. That's interesting. I never even thought of that before. Huh. I guess when we have more missiles, I'll show it off to you guys. I'm sorry! Maybe I shouldn't use super missiles on absolutely everything I come across. Although it does feel good. Anyway though, making our way, I think it's time to keep exploring new rooms, as that one didn't really provide anything useful. Those upgrades, like the super missiles, except they aren't actually all that useful. In fact, they are completely optional. Super missiles obviously aren't, we kind of ran into them last time, but this fountain is now healthy and clean, which will shoot us up to this spider-ball track, which can let us get some more missiles. So many missiles. I keep saying the word missiles so often. Maybe it's because I keep missing with them that I'm so low. I don't know. It's sort of, missiles are just asking to be missed. Anyway though, as we make our way through, I don't want the wave beam because rapid fire is much better for shriek bats and other creatures. So we could have gone back through to the sun chamber to get an artifact there, but probably best that we didn't actually, in my opinion, now that I've learnt something about enemies. And there are a few upgrades in this area, but we'll come back and get them at a later time when we are cleaning up a lot of our upgrades. Also, in case you're like, no, go to the sun chamber, it's not far away now. When we fought Flagra actually blocked off this doorway with some plant stuff. And it is still blocked off actually, so we cannot get through from this side. You have to get through from the Magmore Caverns elevator. In this room, even though we can go through, actually yes, I will go down through there. We will clean up some of the Chozo ruins and prepare ourselves for what is coming up later. Not in this episode, not even in the next 2 episodes at my guess. Actually, maybe in the next 2, but not in the next one. Maybe, I actually don't know. But, oh wait. It is worth noting, while the water was toxic here, and you'll notice that with a few things like lava as well, if there's a form of liquid that you can take damage from, like toxic water or lava, instead of being on the instead of going down underneath the surface like you would with water, what will actually happen is you'll be walking on a surface just below, like you'll be walking on a plane just below the surface of whatever substance it is. By the way, destroy that with a bit of, like, it's made of brimstone, destroy it with a missile, and you can get another missile. Further up there, we have, obviously, another thing we can get. And we have a plasmite too. Oh, bombs scare it away. Great. I'm glad bombs scare it away as well, because that guy can hit you and knock you off, and it's very annoying. As I was saying though, you'd be standing just underneath the surface, so it does hinder you and your jumping abilities, as you could tell with the lava when I died in the Magmore Caverns. However, it won't put you like completely underneath, otherwise you'd never be able to get out again and you'd die so quickly. However, now that we can go under here because it's nice clean water and not toxic, you will see that there is something up there that we cannot access, because water is very bad for robotic suits in the future. For some reason. What is this doing here? This looks a lot like a drainage thing that you see later on, but it obviously won't drain anything. Interesting. I don't know why that's there, but I guess it is, in case the room floods higher than it currently is flooded. But now I think we keep making our way onwards towards the furnace that we were in last time, over near where we killed the incinerator drone, even though the incinerator drone wasn't in the furnace. That is the wrong door, I need to be going up. But thankfully with our double jump, we can go up and skip a lot of segments now. Especially up here, we can just jump straight up to this one. This won't alert those shriek bats. And if I jump on the side here and further up, we can finally access this sandstone. Still don't see how that's made of sandstone. It looks very metallic. And get that missile. So many things we can get now that we're finally coming back through here with many more items. But now just making our way through here, I completely missed all of those eyes. Oh well. And I do want to shoot you guys so you don't knock me down. There we go. Give me the missiles. And I think I'll actually be able to show off what my wave beam does soon. Actually, there aren't really any good enemies coming up that I can show it off. Maybe there is in this next room, though. Now that we have the spider ball, though, we can take this top path. Those blocks disappear magically behind us. And in the furnace, we are now outside of the furnace. And I guess these beetles are the best enemy to show this off at. Holding this down will... Whoa! I've only used that on, like, bosses. But crap, that is effective. For multiple enemies. Anyway, though, holding that down, the wave beam will target enemies that you can lock onto. Maybe even these guys, but I'm not going to bother trying it on them. These guys, in fact, are plated parasites, as it shows up now. Morph ball bombs are pretty much the only way you're going to kill them. And there is a spider ball track, but if we scan this floor, it is made of bendazedium, as I like to call it now. And only since I've started playing this game for you guys. But we also have a shiny wall. What is this otherworldly pestilence that infests the land? I believe... So this is right after the meteor strike. This is when they finally call it the Great Poison. Yes. So that's the first time you hear that name in their stories. But making our way onwards through this tunnel. Actually, can I just say... So this room... You see that little spike there and the start of a tunnel. But at this point in the game, when I first played this game... I came to a complete standstill. I got completely stuck, did not know where to go. And I went everywhere I could. I actually had to look up a walkthrough because I could not even see that tunnel because, as I've mentioned before, my brightness settings weren't the best when I played this game. Another white door here blocking the way. But there is some stuff we can do here. This episode's actually running a bit longer than I thought, so were the last couple, though. I guess I was planning shorter episodes, but not so much. There won't be as many episodes as Kingdom Hearts, trust me on that. But we have quite a few shiny walls here. So this one's about prophecies and the worm. This one over here is about... What are you about? The cradle, it seems, that temple we've come across. That the artifacts all linked to seems to be holding off the great poison until the entrusted one comes along. And then we have the entrusted one. This is the final one that they make, actually, I think. So some of those seek in, or believe in the promise of the great poison. But actually, let me check that one. I think that's actually talking about an enemy we haven't come across yet, although you can come across it by this point. We will see it very soon. Was that the last one? No. So that would have been... Infestation, yes. So some of their own kind have been taken over by those guys. We have a bit of a cordite statue here. This symbol likes to sort of reveal that. Scanning this, though, will activate something. You don't have to shoot it with your wave beam, thankfully. That reveals a spider ball plate up there. So using our boost ball, we can get up there, doing some sick tricks in this half pipe. Look at Samus go. I'd like to see any skateboarder get that high. Come on, guys. I know you can do better. Pretty sure Tony Hawk's can almost do better, at least in the games. I don't know. Samus can get pretty high. Samus Aran. Bounty hunter, but also part-time half-pipe stunt woman. Samus Aran is a woman of many talents, as you can tell. That was a terrible use of the morph ball in that half-pipe. Best timing I would say for the morph ball is that you charge it up when you're not using it, and you use it just as you're reaching this point in the middle here. Can I double jump up so I don't have to use the morph? No, I do. So like right here, and then when you get back down, that way you're not boosting with gravity because that actually nullifies the effects a bit. But we can keep heading onwards through this hallway. I think there's actually something I can scan in this room. Yes. And some scarabs, huh? Only the holder of 12 shall face the worm. So the 12 artifacts, of course, that we've collected a couple of. Whoever collects those will face the worm. That worm seems to be the cause of the great poison. And so that worm will probably be the final boss, at my guess. The great poison corrupts all, even the Chozo. As we will see in this room right here, with this very white flower looking thing, at least I'd want to call it a flower. This thing here, this is a Chozo ghost. They are immune to all forms of elements, so only the power beam is effective against it. They can also disappear briefly and take down your systems. So these guys tend to be very annoying, as you can only use your power beam. They disappear quite often. However, if we had some X-ray technology, we might be able to see them. Now, as we go around the Chozo ruins from this point onwards, or if you decided to go to the Sun Chamber, which there are also some more Chozo ghosts. From this point onwards, you'll see a lot more of the Chozo ghosts around the place. And we have a statue, quite a few things up here that can be used, some doorways. And this is the Hall of the Elders. Very fancy room for the Chozo. And in fact, this room has something very special. In this tunnel, if I head through here, we have a research item. This is a missile station. This will completely reload your missiles, and I wonder if it has the same glitch with the map station. Does it, please? Please? Oh no, okay. So I can go into this as many times as I want, refills my missiles like the save points do with my health, except it doesn't save my game. Upon defeating that Chozo ghost though, we can access the hands of this with the morph ball. In the next episode though, don't want to keep this thing running for half an hour. I don't want to put you guys in the torture of that Kingdom Hearts Let's Play. They were a bit long. So, next time we will see what secrets the Hall of Elders has to hide, and continue making our way through some of these doors. That white door probably just connects to that room though, so nothing special there. Anyway, see you guys next time. This has been Spiraling Helix. Bye bye everybody.